there, Chocks and Chockets, and in between, Roberto here for another video review. It's another incredible egg. This time it's the Quality Street Incredible Egg. Golden Collection, yes. So, chewy fudge and caramel pieces in the shell, a smooth caramel flavour shell itself. Also includes a mixed bag of Quality Street toffees, fudge and caramel. Alright, so there we go. So basically it's the sort of, well, it's the, I don't know, the caramel and fudge set of Quality Street basically. You can buy separately in other bags. And there we go, it actually says on the back as well. This is what it's inspired by. Toffee penny, toffee finger, caramel swirl and fudge. So not too bad. I always find that the toffee penny and the toffee finger are a bit boring really, a bit mundane, but actually they're not too bad actually when you actually have them. And I do find that the actual fudge, it used to be called vanilla fudge, it's called fudge now. I'm sure it used to be called vanilla fudge anyway. It's actually one of the best ones in the set. Caramel swirl is nice as well, of course. It's always a nice runny caramel. So it does have a good set in this one. I do kind of wish they'd gone the whole hog and it would be every kind of, you know, Quality Street represented in the egg somehow. But I know why they don't do it. I know that's very difficult to achieve. But, you know, but that's the challenge, isn't it? It's still paying a lot for this, really. But nonetheless, I still think it's quite a good compromise. All in all, I was a bit apprehensive, but thinking about it, yeah, I'm quite happy with it, to be honest with you. And I like the packaging as well. I like we can see all the different Quality Street items in here as well, which is quite nice. Although, don't know, the caramel fudge and toffee penny represented together. I think they probably are there, aren't they? I can't see any, you know, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But there we go. It's still nice. Alright, so what's it say on the back? Anything of interest? Presumably so. Also includes a mixed bag of Quality Street toffees, fudge, caramel, as I mentioned before. Incredible egg. So that's what we've got. Caring for the world, we share, it says. So scan that if you're interested. Let's say Cocoa Plan. Recycle in the UK and Ireland, recyclable paper wrappers. Sustainable cocoa, but I'd always look into that if that's important to you, because I'm pretty sure there's usually caveats with that. Nestle's pioneering innovative program that aims to improve the livelihoods of cocoa farming families. So again, I'd look into that if it's of importance to you. I mean, obviously, presumably they're doing more than the otherwise would have been, but I'm sure there's caveats in this anyway. Maybe there's some small print, I don't know, but you know what I mean. It's one of those, isn't it? I'm pretty sure, you know, they wouldn't be doing it if they didn't have to, basically. So I'm sure that does imply that corners may be cut, but of course I'm just speculating. I don't know. It's just I just would always look into that kind of thing. So now you're saying 1/15 of an egg is one serving. Share or save your chocolate egg, it says. All right, 3 sweets is 1 serving. So we've got the sweets information here and the egg information here. So per 100 grams for the egg, 531 calories, 29.8 grams of fat, 17.8 which are saturates. And per 15th of an egg, 106 calories, 6 grams of fat, 3.6 of which are saturates. So obviously looking at 1,500 calories of the whole egg there. And per 100 grams for the sweets, 472 calories, 20.8 grams of fat, 11.2 which are saturates, and per 3 sweets, 128 calories, 5.6 grams of fat, 3 of which are saturates. And there's the recycle information there. The bag recycled store, don't recycle at home, but in the Republic of Ireland you can recycle everything at home. Look at that. So why can't you in the UK? And it makes it such a simple thing as instructions, doesn't it? Just everything you can recycle at home. In the UK you've got this massive thing here. So vegetarians, it says there, 379 grams. Alright, so 379 grams. I reckon that the egg itself is 300 grams and the sweets are 79 grams. Alright, and there's the ingredients there. So milk chocolate egg with caramel and fudge inclusions, 10%. Milk chocolate contains cocoa size 25% minimum, milk size 40% minimum, with fats in addition to cocoa butter. Got loads of ingredients there, which isn't too bad, you know, considering all the stuff that's in it. Palm fat. Alright, ingredients for the actual sweets in the bag. So assorted milk chocolates and toffees. Milk chocolate contains cocoa size 25% minimum, milk size 14% minimum. It's the same as down over there, I think, yes. And the egg itself. The palm fat again. Alright. Important young children less than 4 years have limited chewing ability and could choke on small sweets. Okay, so keep that in mind. Alright, and Nestle. There we go. Good food, good life. Alright. Okay, so pretty good, pretty interesting, isn't it? And it's got a little thing on the top there, you can write who it's for. An incredible treat for. Quite a nice little touch. Yeah. Okay. Alright, nice. Yeah, and it just says, look, smell, taste before you waste on the bottom. So throw it away only if it's gone off, not necessarily if it's gone past its date. I think that's trying to simplify. Alright, so let's give it a bit of an opening. Got these tabs at the side, they have to break. There we go. There's a tab there as well. Okay. There we are. It should now open magically. There we go. We've got a bag at the top. Now, a bit disappointing that the bag is just like that. It's not really a special, you know, it's not a special Quality Street bag. At least you can see what's inside it, I guess. Alright. won't review these. I don't think I've reviewed Quality Street many a time, so I'll possibly put a link to my review and then in the top corner. See what I think of these, but there we go. But we'll see what the distribution's like of those. I think that is an important one to do. Okay, so let's lift the egg out itself. It's a nice experience. Okay, there we go. Get everything out. There we are. Right. Just holes at the bottom. For it's like bits of something, but it's just holes. Anyway, so go through the cardboard. Okay. Couldn't tell that, but that's what it was. All right, so let's see if we can get this through. So I think you have to pretty much rip the cardboard. The foil is quite loosely done. I quite like it. Look at that. It's quite a nice foil. It looks pretty good. It looks more like a Cadbury. Like Cadbury chocolate orange or something, doesn't it? You know, it looks like the sea of Cadbury, doesn't it? But there we are. Yeah, so normally if I was doing this in person, I would smash it like this. You know, in the wrapper so it catches all the pieces. But of course, I've got to show you it. So yeah, so I'm not going to do that. We'll open the egg a bit further down, and yeah. So speaking of which, let's do just that. Smooth stuff down and give it an open. Okay, everyone. Okay, we're going to give this this well, what's it called? This Nestle Incredibly Egg, Quality Street Incredibly Egg, an open, and why not? So let's do it. Right. It's a bit warm today. It's got the typical Nestle crimpage at the side. You can see it looks a bit like a rugby ball. Maybe it's, I don't know. Is it? I'm assuming in the machine that puts them together, it holds them in place here, and that's what the indentations are. But you don't get them on other eggs, just on the Nestle one. Can't see too much going on. You can see a few pieces coming through, some scuffages on the bottom. Overall, looks pretty nice. Smells quite caramel-like as well, I must say. Actually, it does have a bit of a toffee, caramelly, fudgy smell, so I guess that's appropriate. Now the thing is, there's no liquid caramel represented in this, is there? The sort of like the golden collection it talks about does include the caramel swirl. You know, there basically, but there's no actual runny caramel in this as far as I know anyway. It's just got chewy fudge caramel pieces and smooth caramel flavour shell. So I guess the smooth caramel is in the shell, the flavouring of the shell basically. But alright, there we go. Alright, so I think we've just got to give it a bit of a smash, haven't we really? So normally, what's the best way? Cause all sorts of havoc. I'm going to try and get into these. I could just smash it down like that, or I could punch it at the top. If I punch it at the top, it's going to be crazy, isn't it? So let's just give a bit of a smash down, I think. The old smash down. Let's see if we can do it. Come on. Alright, there we go. Good smash, that's not bad. Okay, there we go. Look at all that lovely lumpy pieces there. So a lovely waft of caramel coming through there, actually, I must say. Really nice. Really nice smell, actually, right? It does smell lovely. Very nice, yeah. I mean, look how thick it is as well. Let's get the old calperoonies out. Give us the old we'll zero that a bit. There we go. Okay. I mean, it's really thick. I mean, look at this. It's about 9mm there. And there's a bit of a thinner bit here. That's roughly 2-3mm. Just give it another go. Yeah, about 3mm, almost 3.5 there. But yeah, so it can vary a bit. But yeah, very thick. And of course, the thickness one, the sort of thickness I did, you know, it could be thicker in places with all the lumpy bits and stuff like that that's going on. Yeah, and look at that. You can see all these lumpy bits of goodness as well. So there's only one type of bit in the egg. It's just the chewy fudge and caramel. Well, there's chewy fudge and caramel pieces. Actually, maybe there is two. Very difficult to discern which is what, I must say. But nonetheless. There we go. So yeah, so I don't know which is the caramel, which is the fudge. I mean, you can see maybe that's caramel. Maybe the lighter one's fudge. I don't really know. I can't tell. It's hard to say. But yeah, As I say, it smells very caramel-like. It does have a nice caramel smell. All right, let's have a look at the distribution then of the sweets themselves. Oop. There's my eggs rocking all over the place. So look at these then. So I think maybe I'll just move the plate out of the way so I don't get all these covered in chocolate. Alright, so what have we got? Alright, so definitely a mixed bag, both metaphorically and literally. Alright, so we've got 5 of the toffee pennies. 3 of these, only 2 of these and 2 of these, and these are probably the best one. I mean, as I mentioned before, these are the more mundane ones. It's still nice, but the mundane. I'd want more of these. So why not have, you know, or just take away 2 of those and have 3 of these. So you've got 3 of each of them. You know, why do that? So it's a bit disappointing that, but yeah. So a shame, especially when it's meant to be a sharing egg and it's on the other. You know what I mean? You know, apparently you've only got you only give one. You can have one of each of the other ones. If someone's up each two of them without realising, you end up with none of them. You know. So yeah, a bit disappointing. So that could be better. But all right. Well, if we've got the egg here, I think we just need to give it a taste, don't we? Really. So let's do just that. Let's lift myself up. Give it a taste. Okay, everyone, okay, we're going to give this Nestle Quality Street Golden Collection Incredible Egg with chewy fudge and caramel pieces in the shell and smooth caramel flavour shell a taste. It also includes a mixed bag of Quality Street toffees, fudge and caramel. Yeah, so basically I've reviewed Quality Street before. I will have put, or if I haven't, I will do it now, a link up here in this top left corner, my top left, your top right, so you can go look at that review as well for the actual individual Quality Streets. But I did look at the distribution of those sweets, and basically 3 caramel fingers, 5 toffee pennies, 2 of the fudge, 2 of the caramel swirls. But alright, let's give this a taste. We've got a nice chunk here. So as I say, it smells very caramel-like, I must say, like a sort of well, it's a bit of fudgy caramel. Yeah, it does smell like you'd expect it to. But how's it taste? Let's give it a go. I'm definitely getting the fudge flavour from it. I would have preferred to have more chewy caramel pieces, but there's one left in my mouth, but there's only one really. Let's give this bigger chunk a go. I feel like the caramel isn't there in the bits I've tasted, which obviously is poor distribution if that's the case, but it's not chewy enough. There's not enough chew in here. I'm getting a nice fudge flavour and quite sort of strong catching the throaty caramel flavour, but I'm not really getting much of a chew. I want more of a chew from this really. Yeah, so interesting. The chocolate taste, I'll say, quite it's got that sort of caramel taste to it. You know, if you just have like one bit like this. I don't feel like I'm getting a chewy caramel experience. I'm not getting a runny caramel experience because it just says this sort of like runny caramel in the shell, which is where the toffee swirls represent it, apparently. And a smooth caramel flavour shell. So, but there's no smooth caramel in it. You know, so it's a bit rubbish, just caramel flavour shell basically. Chewy fudge and caramel pieces, but I'm not really. I'll say I'm getting the fudge pieces, but I'm tasting them, but I'm not tasting any particular chew. I get a bit of a chew from the caramel. Let's just taste this one last bit. It is nice. It's a solid, you know, lumpy chocolate, but I want more chewy caramel in there. It's not very chewy at all. And because you're getting caramel flavoured chocolate, you don't really taste it, you know what I mean? So, I've got a bit of a chew going on now, but considering the massive chunk I just had, barely any really. It is nice though. I mean, it is nice. I think the fudge comes across quite nicely. Although again, would I like bigger chunks? I'm not sure if I'd like bigger chunks or not, but I think they're just on the cusp of being the right size, but you know, they could be bigger. And the caramel, as I say, could be chewier. You know, it might be, I can't tell if it's just, you know, it might not, it just doesn't seem to be represented enough. And what was the percentage? Didn't even give you a percentage. It just says 10% inclusion, so it doesn't tell you really. So you're only getting 10% anyway. And of course, you know, 5% of that is caramel. And it might even be less, you know, because it's got caramel in the egg. Maybe they thought, well, we'll give them less. So yeah, so a bit disappointing that really. It's not quite as caramel and chewy like as I'd like. I'd really like to have more of a chew. I'd get a few bits, but not much. You know, but the fudge comes across quite nicely. But again, it just is sort of in battle with the caramel flavoured chocolate. So overall, it could be a bit better balanced in the flavours and the textures. Essentially, I feel like there could be more. I want more caramel chew. You know, is it just? I think it just needs more inclusions in there, maybe, or it's just not quite balanced right. There's too many fudge pieces, not enough caramel. And I feel that's the case because I do get a chew. I am getting a chew from some of the pieces, but just not very many of them. And I've had a fair chunk of it now, so you know. Yeah, I'm sure I'll put a caption if anything changed when I had the whole egg, and maybe do all the caramel pieces were just all concentrated in one section of the egg, but that's still poor, isn't it? That shouldn't be the case. So overall though, this one, it's still a nice experience, still a thick, chunky egg. The chocolate's nothing magically special or anything like that, and so it's flavoured caramel, it's quite nice, but You know, let's say that caramel flavouring of the chocolate does work against the actual caramel pieces as well, because you don't taste them as much. So it's a bit pointless, really, especially when it's trying to represent the runny caramel by having a caramel, like a, you know, what did I actually call it? A runny caramel flavour? Yeah, so smooth caramel flavour shell, it says. Smooth caramel, but there's no point having a smooth caramel flavour shell. You know, so it's still chocolate, it's just caramel flavoured. So, you know, I would have preferred really just have, I think, more caramel representation in the pieces, and for them to, that flavour of that to work out a bit more, come out a bit better. But, you know, having said that, it's hard to say, because maybe it wouldn't be as nice if the chocolate wasn't flavoured caramel. But as I say, it does defeat the point of having the, you know, getting any flavour from the caramel from the pieces themselves. And since there doesn't seem to be that very many of them, you're not really getting much from those, I don't think, you know. So not much of a chew, and certainly no real flavour addition to it because of the chocolate being flavoured caramel anyway. So yeah, but as I say, the fudge is nice, you can detect that, and it's comes across well actually. It's just on a cusp of being the right size. I would probably like it to be a bit bigger pieces or more of them or something, you know. So I think the gist of it is, needs more inclusions, certainly does need more caramel. And also the other thing as well, there's no other, you know, it's just literally just the sort of the toffees and caramels, well, the fudge I guess in this one as well. There's no like strawberry or orange representation, or the praline, you know, the green triangle, or the purple one or anything like that. So, you know, but perhaps it's for the best that they've not gone too crazy with it. But as I say, maybe they could have made it even more exciting and had loads of different, you know, ingredients and things in it. You know what I mean? Orange flavoured bits, or strawberry flavoured bits, or raspberry, whatever it is. You know, praline bits in there. Maybe, you know, I'm not a big fan of hazelnuts, but you could have put hazelnuts in. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But I guess maybe it would just be a bit too much, and not everyone likes all the different quality treats. But you know what I mean? There's potential there for something a bit more special, I think. So yeah, but overall, still nice. So I think for me, 4 out of 5 this one. Definitely room for improvement, but it's still a nice experience. Alright guys, let me know if you get this one. What would you like to see in your Quality Street egg? Let me know which of the Quality Streets are your favourites. Yeah, leave a comment free. Always get to hear from you. Always do your best to reply. And have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. See ya.